There's a scriptural passage that I like to use as a kind of an outline. It's found in Philippians chapter 4, verse 8. And I'm just going to read it real quickly. Finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. You see, most of the relational problems that we have with people have to do with what we think about them, our attitude, or our response to them, our opinions of them. And then those attitudes and opinions are, eventually leak out in the way we speak to them or about them. In order to relate rightly, you've got to think rightly. You've got to think rightly about God, understand who God is, and of course, this is, if you simply thought about whatever is true and whatever is noble, you'd be thinking about the Lord himself and the gospel, but you'd also be thinking about these image bearers like you that are all around you. You'd be thinking about one thing or another. Now, you can think about their faults and the way they've done you dirt, the way they've hurt you and harmed you, but you don't have to think about those things alone. I mean, if you dwell on somebody's faults, you'll magnify those faults in your own mind. And those faults will become actually bigger than they probably really are. They're only as they relate to you and how they affect you. But you can also focus on the things that you like about a person. And even if you don't like the person anymore, what did you used to like about them? Those things are still true. They just may not be true in the present experience, in exchange. So let's just say, now, first of all, whatever is true, he says. You don't have to make things up. Don't make things up. Don't flatter people. Don't fabricate things. But if there is anything true about that person that is admirable, that is praiseworthy, that is of good reputation, that is noble, if there's anything at all, then you may have to dig deep to remember. You may have to go way back years ago so that you can recall those things. But if there is anything, then you can think of the word, maybe the person is honest or kind or hardworking or number of characteristics that are admirable. But if it's true, you should be able to substantiate that with some anecdotal evidence. So when did you see that? What did you see? When did you see that? In what kind of situation or circumstance can you recall seeing this? And how did that affect you? In other words, how were you blessed by that person? Now, the very person you may be feeling as if they're cursing you now has actually blessed you in some way or another. You need to focus on those blessings. So in blessing another person, you're actually thinking about how they've blessed you, how they've contributed to your life in some way. And so when I wrote that letter to my dad, that's what I was thinking about. And I just simply focused on what good things my dad had done for me, how he had blessed me, and how I'd benefited by being his son. And so Philippians 4:8 gives us a simple outline on how to focus our mind. He says, let your mind think on these things. Now, your mind is going to want to go and think about other things, but you need to be very intentional about this. And that's one reason why writing is so essential to this, because writing is a very exacting discipline. it requires you to do think time and really be focused. And so, this is a good outline to follow. You focus on those things that are true, number one, but also things that are noble, things that are right, things that are praiseworthy in any way, shape, or form. So this is a starting point to the how-to.